What if getting shot in the head gave you superpowers? No, I'm not talking about some cosmic ray or a radioactive spider bite. I'm talking about getting fragments of your smartphone embedded in your brain. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's the wild premise of the 2017 Netflix original movie, iBoy. Today, we re-dive in deep into this unique British sci-fi thriller that blends teenage angst with a high-tech vigilante story. Is it a hidden gem, or just a weird concept that doesn't quite land? Let's find out. The story kicks off with Tom Harvey, a pretty average 16-year-old kid living in a rough London housing estate. He's shy, a bit of an outcast, and he's got a massive crush on his childhood friend, Lucy. After mustering up the courage to call her and ask to hang out, he heads over to her apartment, full of nervous excitement. But when he arrives, he walks into a nightmare. Lucy's apartment is being invaded by a group of masked thugs. Tom tries to intervene, but is overwhelmed. He makes a run for it, trying to call the police on his iPhone. In the chaos, he's shot. When Tom wakes up from a coma, 10 days later, the doctors tell him that bullet fragments are lodged in his brain, too deep to be removed safely. But that's not all. Shards from his shattered iPhone are also in there, and this is where things get really interesting. Tom starts hearing phone calls, seeing text messages, and even accessing digital information directly in his mind. He can see Wi-Fi signals, hack into bank accounts, and manipulate any device connected to the network. Essentially, his brain has become a living, breathing smartphone. He has become iBoy. At first, these new abilities are terrifying and disorienting. Imagine your brain being flooded with every digital signal around you. It is a constant stream of overwhelming noise. But as Tom starts to get a handle on his new powers, a desire for revenge begins to grow. The attack left Lucy traumatized and withdrawn, refusing to leave her home or even speak to him. The police seem powerless or indifferent, unable to do anything about the gang that terrorizes their neighborhood. Fueled by guilt and a fierce need to protect Lucy, Tom decides to take matters into his own hands. This is where the film really finds its footing. Tom, using his newfound powers, starts his vigilante crusade. He's not a trained fighter or a billionaire with a cave full of gadgets. He's just a kid with a unique and powerful weapon inside his own head. His first acts of revenge are small, almost like digital pranks. He messes with the gang members' bank accounts, sends embarrassing texts from their phones, and generally makes their lives difficult. It's satisfying to watch this previously helpless kid turn the tables on his tormentors. He can see through their cameras, listen to their conversations, and expose their secrets. He becomes a ghost in the machine, an unseen force of justice. The main villain of the piece is a local crime boss known only as Elman. He's the one pulling the strings, running the drug trade that has a chokehold on the estate. As Tom digs deeper, he uncovers the scale of Elman's operation and realizes just how dangerous this man is. The film does a good job of building the tension. What started as a personal quest for revenge quickly escalates into a full-blown war against a ruthless criminal organization. Tom is in way over his head, and the stakes keep getting higher. One of the most compelling aspects of iBoy is the visual representation of Tom's powers. We see the world through his eyes, a dizzying overlay of digital information, network signals, and data streams. It's a creative and effective way to show, not just tell, what he's experiencing. The screen fills with code. Text messages pop up in his vision, and he can literally see the flow of information through cables and Wi-Fi signals. This visual style gives the film a unique aesthetic that sets it apart from other superhero or sci-fi flicks. It feels grounded and gritty, reflecting the urban environment the story is set in. The performances are also a strong point. Bill Milner, who plays Tom, perfectly captures the character's journey from a timid teenager to a conflicted and powerful vigilante. You can feel his fear, his anger, and his confusion as he grapples with his new reality. And then there's Maisie Williams as Lucy. Fresh off her Game of Thrones fame, she brings a raw vulnerability to the role. Her portrayal of a young woman dealing with severe trauma is heartbreaking and powerful. The chemistry between Tom and Lucy is the emotional core of the film. His desire to help her is his primary motivation, but his methods create a new kind of distance between them. She's scared of the violence he's bringing into their lives, even if it's meant to protect her. This conflict raises some interesting questions. Is what Tom doing right? He's using his powers to fight criminals, but he's also breaking the law, invading privacy on a massive scale, and putting himself and others in incredible danger. The film doesn't give easy answers. It explores the classic theme of, with great power comes great responsibility, but through a modern, technological lens. Tom is not a clean-cut hero. He makes mistakes, lets his anger get the best of him, and struggles with the moral implications of his actions. He's essentially a hacker with godlike abilities, and the temptation to abuse that power is always present. As Tom's actions become more audacious, he inevitably attracts the attention of Elman. The climax of the film is an intense showdown. Tom has to use every trick in his digital arsenal to outsmart a man who operates with brutal, old-school violence. It's a classic battle of brains versus brawn, but with a high-tech twist. The final confrontation isn't just about physical strength. It's about who can control the information and the environment. Tom manipulates traffic lights, security cameras, and even the power grid to trap his enemies. It's a clever and thrilling conclusion to his vigilante arc. So, what's the verdict on iBoy? It's definitely not your typical superhero movie. It's darker, grittier, and more grounded than most. The premise is a bit outlandish, and you do have to suspend your disbelief about the whole phone in the brain thing. But if you can get past that, you'll find a surprisingly engaging and thought-provoking sci-fi thriller. It's a story about power, revenge, and the consequences of our digital lives. It takes the anxieties of modern teenage life, social isolation, bullying, the overwhelming nature of technology, and literalizes them into a superhero origin story. The movie isn't perfect. The pacing can be a little uneven at times, and some of the side characters feel a bit underdeveloped. The logic of Tom's powers can also be a little inconsistent if you think about it too hard. How does he recharge? Does he need a software update? The film wisely avoids getting bogged down in these technical details and focuses more on the emotional and moral story. What I really appreciate about iBoy is its originality. In a world saturated with superhero franchises, it dares to do something different. It's a small-scale, personal story that feels both unique and relevant. It taps into our fears and fascinations with technology and asks what would happen if a regular person was suddenly given complete control over the digital world. Would they become a hero or a monster? Or, more likely, something in between. iBoy is a fantastic example of a high-concept idea executed with a gritty, realistic style. It's a refreshing change of pace for the genre, offering a compelling story, strong performances, and a unique visual flair. If you're looking for a superhero movie that's a little off the beaten path, something with more depth and darkness than your average blockbuster, then I highly recommend giving iBoy a watch. It's a hidden gem on Netflix that deserves more attention. It proves that you need a massive budget or a well-known comic book character to tell a captivating story about power and responsibility in the modern age. Have you seen iBoy? What did you think of its unique take on superpowers? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of film. See you in the next one.